She's the no-nonsense head teacher who once sent home 20 schoolgirls for wearing short skirts. But after 7 years at Ebbsfleet Academy in Kent, head teacher Alison Colwell has had enough.
But it's not the children she's fed up with, it's the parents. She's been screamed at, sworn at, threatened and vilified, and now she's speaking out, and she joins us now to tell us more. And it's lovely to have you on the sofa.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So this was a failing school. Since you've been there, Ofcom have rated it good. 5 good GCSEs have rose from 24% to 60%. Your leadership has been praised by Ofsted. You went in with a firm hand.
Yes.
And so you must have been proud of your achievements.
I'm very proud of what we've achieved. It's a we. I've had a wonderful team of people working with me, so I am very proud, yes.
And the pupils have taken to it.
Most of them, yes.
Yeah, but it's the parents that are the issue.
So it has been a small number of parents, and all the headlines and the sort of media interest that's happened in the last couple of days has gone a bit insane, and it's really important to stress that it is the minority of parents. But as I said, if you think about a minority of parents in my school, this is not about my school, this is about schools and education. And if you times that by the 4,000 secondary schools, the 20,000 primary schools, it is a problem. But a small number of parents from the beginning took a dislike to what we were trying to do, and our high expectations and clear rules, which we found unusual.
And so how bad did it get? What sort of things? When they don't like something, how do they let you know?
Every way. So online, obviously, there was a Facebook page that still goes, I think, but we don't really look at it anymore. Emails, abusive answer machine left on the answer phone to the school, or directly to my face. I've been, as you said, I've been sworn directly at. And
well, you've had to call the police.
We've had to call the police on a few occasions, yeah.
For what reasons?
To remove an
aggressive
parent. Yes, it's been only very few number of times it's had to happen, but I still think it's pretty shocking it has to happen at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it must be really frustrating for you when you are as part of the school trying to put these rules in place to help, to make a difference, to be caring for these children, to make sure they get the best out of life.
Well, absolutely, because everything we've done, and when we've taken this so-called tough love stance, I don't like that phrase, it's because we care so much about the children. It's because we want to improve the school and give them a better education and improve their life chances. We do everything because we care so much about the children. So, yes, it's been very galling and hurtful at times, but it is a minority. And what doesn't ever make the headlines or doesn't ever get much interest is for any time something does hit the press or we have something like this, we are overwhelmed with positive responses from people, from random strangers, from current parents, from other educationalists. You know, for one sort of angry parent that goes to the papers or creates something online, it's times 100 supportive.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, you know, that does exist. And we've got a member of our team who works in schools and says, and with the stories that they've told from parent-teachers meetings, it's just astonishing that a parent could behave so badly. You have been called the 2 worst words that there are by a parent in front of the pupils as they were coming to school.
Yes. I mean, I also find it astonishing, but yes, that has happened. This was right at the very beginning, a parent who particularly took against us, shall we say, who in reception stood and swore at me repeatedly, as you say, using the F word, using the C word in front of their child. I mean, not surprisingly, you can imagine how my authority and respect for that child was, really, from that child to me.
From that child, yeah. And you said actually there is a direct correlation between sort of chaotic families and how those children go on to behave.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sitting before watching, you know, on the Jeremy Kyle show, and you saw some of these dysfunctional families as you've just described them. But as I said, this is not my school's problem. We suffer from it like all schools do. It's no bigger or lesser in my school. It is a societal problem.
But you've gone further and said that those parents who behave like that represent what is broken about Britain.
Well, I do think that.
And so what influence do you think they have upon their children and their children's view on schools?
Well, a very negative and damning
authority.
One. Yes, I mean, when I went to school, I mean, the chances of me being in trouble were minimal. But if I had even got in slight trouble, I'd have been in 10 times more trouble at home because my parents had. I have real respect for education, for schools. And I do honestly think that is still the norm for most decent, normal people. As I said, any time we have something shocking, I'm overwhelmed with the positive response that we get. People are genuinely staggered that this sort of thing goes on. So, you know, it is, as I say, the minority. But as you said, you can imagine if a parent is undermining the authority of the school to that degree and to that extent, what chance have we got that the child is going to have respect?
So are they
for the
wrecking
school?
their child's future?
Well, I believe so.
So what about your future then? Because, you know, you've been here for a long time, you've made huge differences. I know it's been reported and on some of these online forums that you've been finally worn down and they're getting rid of you, but that's not what's happening, is it?
That is so not the case. And of all the nonsense that is written, that one actually... that was the most annoying, really, because, as I said to someone, if this, what we've just been talking about, had driven me out, I would have gone 7 years ago when it was at its peak and it was at its most vicious. Nothing could be further from the truth. I decided that after 7 years, it's time. I'm really proud, as you said, of what we've done and what we've done with the school. There's still much to do, and I felt it's time to pass the baton on to new leadership and new eyes, and it has nothing to do with the negative, you know, that tiny number of parents who have been so destructive and are so against what we've done. Nothing at all. Nothing. No, not at all. I mean, that's just galvanised me to do a better job at times.
Well, you're going to go to Spain. For those teachers left behind and the ones who, the people who may be at uni now and thinking about a career in education, what do you say to them? Because they're almost certainly going to experience some of what you have experienced.
Well, I think as the head, as the figurehead, you get the brunt of it. But I hadn't, as I said, this is not a new phenomenon and it's not unique to certain areas of the country. But as the head, you take the brunt of that. What I would say is teaching is the most wonderful profession. It really is. It makes me... The only reason I ever talk about anything, do any interview, is because I want to say teaching is just a fantastic profession. We should have more youngsters coming into it. It's, you know, the sort of thing we're talking about is not the norm and the everyday experience. And I love going to school. I love working with the children. It's a really rewarding job. I still think it's valued and respected by the vast majority of normal, decent folk. People should be coming into it and not being put off.
Yeah.
That minority, that tiny few parents who create those issues, should they be prosecuted?
Absolutely. I mean, the reason I did the article in the first place is the editor said, you know, the NAHT's conference is having a motion to ask the government to do something about this because, as I said, this is a school-wide, nationwide problem. What they can do, I don't know, but doing nothing, I think, is not acceptable.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for
Good
talking to
luck.
us today.
Thank you.
And nice
Thank you
to
very
see
much
you.
indeed.
Thank you.